And we are going. What's going on with everybody? It is your boy, Eric, aka Young God, coming to you live in the Green Dungeon.
Bear with me.
Yeah, getting it to your real raw rugged, and I got my man coughing right now. You good?
Yeah, man, the soda went down the wrong pipe normal.
Got you. Hey man, for those watching, man, please introduce yourself.
Go by the name of Charles Hamilton, aka C. Dot Hamilton, aka the talented Mr. Hamilton, aka Junior, and a whole other host of AKAs, but you know me as Charles Hamilton for the most part.
Hey man, I have been waiting to this interview. Shout out to you. You said you remember our previous interview. I appreciate that. I always enjoy talking to you. So yeah, man. Before we get into it, man, how you been since we last talked?
Pretty good. I'm not exactly expecting our interviews to change up my life in any way, but I did notice that you conducted a very fair interview. Gave me enough rope to hang myself.
How do you usually feel about interviews in general? Like your people who interview you, are you a fan of interviews or what?
Uh, it all depends on who's doing them. You know
Mm.
what I mean? Like I've been in some bad interviews where I had to say the thing, and then there's times where I was just like so in love with the interview that I was like, forget what I'm saying, acknowledge yourself. You know,
Got you. What do you think makes a good interview?
knowledge on the person being interviewed.
Mm.
Like you gotta kind of, like I was watching the Star Chaser Central podcast, right? And they know me, but they don't know a particular girl who I was talking about. So it's like you're not gonna fully accept or appreciate this album until you get to know this girl. And then once you get to know her, it cracks open a can of worms that can't change. So that's why I made the album, to express my feelings for this female in particular. But it's up for interpretation. It's open for interpretation, and that's good art.
I've heard you say that like essentially like there's a lot of things that you write, a lot of things that you do that nobody or like very few people on earth will understand because they don't fully under like know the people that you're talking about or the thing you're referring to. um have you ever felt like that kind of like I guess like hampered your ability to be like super mainstream because only a few people will understand like everything you're talking about?
Well, the thing is, I would expect these few people to break it down for me. So
Mm.
it became a challenge for me to break it down even better than before. So the challenge is how can I either restate something in a different manner, different, more entertaining sometimes manner, or say something firmly the first time out, and won't be no problems.
Do you ever go into a song like writing it coded, like, oh, this is a heavily coded song, or are you trying to decode it to the point where certain people can understand it? Or is it ever a time where you're just like, yeah, I'm writing this for me, but I'm still putting it out?
It's funny how often I do things for myself and call it in the name of other people. Like I've been standing up against certain behaviors, mannerisms in black men in general, and that's what I've been rebelling against. So if you hear me using the f bomb, fag, or if you calling men bitches and so on and so forth, like that's not a learned behavior. That's like me lashing out at men for what I know a man is capable of.
Yeah. What are
You know,
you? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say. So exactly, what are you rebelling against it with the men?
I mean, I'm not. I don't. I think it's pretty fly to be yourself.
Mm.
And as a man, specifically a black man, you're given a caricature of what you're supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Like basically, if you ain't Tupac, you better be Biggie, and if you ain't either, you're better off dead.
Mm.
That's what being a black man feels like. So I'm rebelling against that, and like everything that comes with it. You know,
What would you say are traits of yourself that just the unique organic traits of yourself that you say is kind of opposite of what a black man is supposed to be in stereotypical, society?
I mean, I consider myself a goth. You know, I think that's a clear separation between your everyday black man and the top. I would say 20% of all black men. I think there's a high percentage of black men in high society of which claim to be gothic and pretty much have the rights to do so, but they don't step out in public saying they're gothic because they'll get eaten alive by the gothic subculture community. Excuse me.
No, I wanted to do a video on like the gothic community of my city of Jacksonville, but I never did the video.
Mhm.
So could you explain to me, because I have like a perception of what I think goth is, but what actually is goth to you?
I mean, it's a particular type of music, type of dress. Um, it's open. Like anyone can be goth, but if you're gonna be goth, you gotta stay goth. You can't go in and out. I noticed that a lot of teenagers, back when My Chemical Romance came out, they were heavy in the goth scene, and then when My Chemical Romance faded away, they went back. They were like struggling to find a life.
Mm. But you've been goth since, like you've been sticking it out, like you ain't leave goth behind.
No, I didn't, and it leads to serious arguments with my family. You know, like they're like, your mom wouldn't approve of this, and like I know my mom wouldn't approve of this, but I'm comfortable with this. Like my mom, I'm not gonna slander my mom, but she was very set in her ways. And
Mm.
when she saw that I was set in my ways, we were always having like duels in the apartment. So even though technically Catholic school kids are considered goths on a high level, it's like a derogatory term, but I take that derogatory term and I give glory to it,
Mm.
by making my own genre of music and making feel good music for goths, like integration music.
What exactly about goth would be so controversial to your family?
It's not of God. It's not
Mm.
directly of God.
Is it opposing to God?
It could be. In my world, I'm not opposing God, but in my world, like if it's not outright Father, Son, Holy Spirit, it's not welcome.
Do they feel similarly when you started to do hip hop?
Absolutely.
Mm, that's interesting. I mean, this is not like your sister or anything, so it's not like don't care. It's like, do you know if your family had a similar reaction to your cousin MC Light doing hip hop?
Um, I've heard stories, but I try not to delve too much into MC Light's background because she already made it as a legend in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So there's really, like only thing that I can do is learn from whatever, and what I've taken from it is she took no prisoners. Once she got her cosign from KRS-One, she was out of here. You know,
One of the best voices ever in hip hop,
absolutely.
man or woman, doesn't matter. Like one of the best voices. She has one of my favorite verses. One of my favorite verses from her is actually from one of my favorite songs ever. It's "I Want to Be Down" remix by
Hmm.
Brandy. Such a good song, and the way she comes in is so good. Like, everybody went in, but yeah, shout out to Mrs. Light. Um, but no, that's interesting though. Going back to you about it's kind of not of God, so it's kind of shunned in your family. Were there other things? Well, I guess you said hip hop. Were there other things that you were into that your family kind of looked down on because they didn't think it was godly?
Magic.
Mm.
Like I just recently realized that specifically what I do is a form of magic, is a specific form of magic. And I think I blogged about it. But yeah, man, I literally I got my own branch of magic,
Yeah.
and that makes me feel like so many people can change the genre icon on iTunes to make it their own genre. I I got something that's all mine.
Mm.
I can't let nobody take that from me. And it's not that they're trying to take it from me; they just want me to not use it because they don't believe that it's of God.
When you say you have your own branch of magic, what does that mean?
But I have like who I'll just put it out there, hoodoo.
Mm.
That's what it's called. Hoodoo. HOODO.
Mm. And what is that exactly?
It's like Hamilton voodoo.
Mm.
Hamiltonian voodoo.
Are you the only person that could practice it, or can other people practice it if they want
I mean, I don't see what anybody would get from it. You don't want to be like me.
it? Has it helped you?
In my way, yeah.
Mm. Like, what are the
You know,
benefits you've seen from hoodoo?
peace of mind.
Mm. Do you feel like magic, or yeah, do you feel like magic has helped you or hindered you with music?
No, it's only been a blessing.
Mm.
Like people can say, "Oh, you've only gotten better because of magic." It's like y'all said the same thing in 2010 when I got dropped from Interscope, and then y'all said I would never get back to rapping top tier when I came back from jail the first time, and I proved to y'all all 2012 to 2014 that I could do it. Y'all said Charles get a record deal, give us some quality writtens. I did that. Y'all didn't show up for it. So I went back to my free music and I went to sharpening my skills. And here we go.
When you got signed that second time, because that's around the time like when you were on Empire and stuff, if I'm
Mhm.
not mistaken. Um, were you shocked that you got signed again, or was that something that you were expecting to happen?
It was a lot of politics.
Mm.
It wasn't a matter of a surprise. Like I was still young at the time. I was getting older, but I was still young. And the music that I made on my own was generating a substantial buzz. But how do we turn that substantial buzz into dollars and cents? We worked with the same producers that produced Iggy Azalea's Fancy. So they flipped some of my instrumentals. I played over some of their instrumentals. We tried to have a working relationship, but at the end of the day, it wasn't up to me to make the album sell. It's up to the mini star chaser.
When you were on that run, were you enjoying the music that you were making at that time?
On my own, yeah, but I wasn't really into what I was doing for the label. I know
Mm.
I was writing my ass off. You know what I mean? Like the bars did not slip, but I wasn't really into it. Like what wasn't there for the music was there for the professional side. Like they actually really treated. I'll be remiss if I didn't say they treated me very fairly. You know what I mean? Like the management company.
Do you think the type of music that you like to make, so the music that you're releasing now, or the music you're releasing before you got signed, do you think that has mainstream potential at all?
If you give it a chance,
Mm. Okay, like quick question: would you say Brooklyn Girl is a Charles Hamilton song, or is that something that the label wanted?
I that was definitely a Charles Hamilton song.
Mm.
Like I made Brooklyn Girls in the humble confines of FDA, like way before Interscope, Jimmy, anybody. So I mean, are you recommending that I make another Brooklyn Girls?
No, no, because I think what's the Jay-Z bar? Like they say they miss my old stuff or buy my old album or whatever.
Exactly.
I do subscribe to that. Um, you are interested, bro. I think that you like. you are personally one of my favorite producers ever. I
Thank you.
think I think in a world you should be looked at the way people, you look at interviews like a young producer and they're like, who's your influences? And they'd be like, whoever. There should be way more producers that be like Charles Hamilton is a big influence on why I produce the way I produce, because you have such a unique way of making beats, chopping soul, nigga. Hold on, we might as well get into it now. Then this right here, bro. This beat is a new beat. I have been playing this beat so much. This right here,
Oh yeah.
Back outside, here's Hamilton launching.
nigga, what? Nigga, he was jamming on that, bro. That junk is so hard, bro.
Thank
I
you.
the reason that so we're supposed to do this interview later. I thought I was gonna write a rap to that for you, and I was gonna play it, but
Oh
it
wow.
just didn't have enough time because I thought I was gonna like do this later. I might, you know what I'm saying? Who knows? I still might do it, but I was gonna write rap to that because that beat is that. That junk is crazy. So I say that to say, Brooklyn girls to now, you still are an amazing producer, and that's why I interview to this day, because you might not be on the radio, on the TV, but nigga, you have the talent to be on the radio and the TV and in everybody's household because you are super amazing. So it's not a question. I just wanted to let you know that you are a very, very special artist.
Thank you. I'm humbled by that. I'm trying to maintain my humility because slowly but surely people are getting re-familiar, reacclimated with who I am. And it's like I don't want it to go to my head. I want to try to keep a level head as far as receiving compliments, but I accept the compliment. Is what I work for.
No, I mean, bro, like I said, you are super duper talented, literally the talented Mr. Hamilton. You, and,
Thanks.
and and you should know that because I listen to your music. Like I said, rather if it's old or new, I'm like you can always hear something. It's like, man, rather if it's the bars, rather if it's the beats. Like one of my favorite beats from you is uh is that Rihanna? Rihanna's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Rihanna is nuts, man. That's because that's that in my room I created a groupie, just a crazy lady who goes over and say she greets me. Yeah, that's crazy, man. Love that song.
Yeah.
Um, Shining, the way you chop that is nuts. The shining, ooh, let me see you shining, ooh, oh, shining if you what? Nah, I gotta play that too. That's crazy. Like I don't know. I'm just over here low key fanning out because nigga, you one of them ones, bro. You one of them ones, bro.
Thank you.
You know when you're making a beat like Shining, um, how do you like you hear the original song? I don't even know if you could process like what I'm about to ask. I want to play a little bit of it real quick so the people that are watching, if they don't know what the heck Shining sounds like, this.
Can't you see it shining? Can't you see it shining? Oh, shine if you believe it. Shining. Can't you see it shining? Oh, shine if you believe it.
Crazy. When you hear the original sample for that, where does your mind go into like this is how I'm gonna chop it? You know what I'm saying? Like are you hearing different melodies from what the singer is singing? Like how do you go by chopping a sample?
It's very interesting you should bring up Shining. That's one of the few beats I don't remember much about. I remember
Mm,
writing to it. I don't really remember much about that beat. To the point where in 2009, a dude from St. Louis came up. His name was Black Spade, and said that he made the beat. And I'm like, you might have, but could you send more proof? And he said the beat was made in 2007. The song was recorded in 2006.
mm.
So it's like the mystery of the pink lava lamp, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Blame my memory. Don't blame no malice. You know what I'm saying? But
Shit.
that record, like it was just a groove that I wanted to tear into. It was a solid groove.
So it's possible that you didn't make that beat.
Hmm.
All right. Well, shoot. Let's. I'll get to a beat that you definitely made. Watch you be like, I didn't make this beat either. But no, I think you made this beat too.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean.
In my room, I created a species, a crazy lady who goes so insane when she greets me.
So when you were hearing that, do you know what's going through your brain of how I'm gonna chop this?
Yeah, I chopped the scariest part possible.
Mm.
Like it's a loop. The loop starts on that very on the fuck on it. It lands on the three, but like
Mm.
it doesn't land on the one. You make beats, right?
I don't make beats, but I understand what you're saying.
Okay, yeah. So it lands that first note, that terrifying, like damn near off. That's part of the loop.
Got you.
So I just cut the scariest part in that song that I could find and told the story. Because believe it or not, or accept it or not, Rihanna is terrifying.
Why is Rihanna terrifying?
That woman will have you doing everything she tells you to do, just with her eyes.
Have you met her before?
I don't want to go down that road no more. Like I talked about it on Sway, but yeah, I met her at Trump Towers,
Got you. You know what year that was?
2008. I rapped the night in question is on Tinkerbell, from Intervention. That's the
Mm.
whole story of me meeting Rihanna.
Got you. Got you.
So
Got
like all the supernatural shit that I was doing uptown came to a head when I met her in person. I was like, damn, like have my actions been greater than my very being?
No, I
You know.
remember. I remember that era where you were kind of like rapping about her, linked to her, or whatever. But yeah, you have some of, like I said, some of my favorite tapes from like the blog era, and I've been talking about the blog era a lot. I think this song I'm about to play now is, as I don't want to bombard you with old songs, but this was like a beat that I feel like a lot of people slept on. But I'm curious of what was going through your brain when you made this right here.
Ooh.
I know if it STH zero. I know if it. Just want
Can't
y'all
wait to talk about it.
to take your imagination into reality.
Dead ass.
Yeah, please get into it.
All right. So I preface this with a little bit of pre-existing knowledge. It's gonna be a little minute, so bear with me. All
Okay.
right. So there is a concept in justice called doom. And in doom, it's like no escaping the pending punishment. Right.
Mm,
So if you in like GTA, you get like 5, 6 stars.
yeah.
If you get busted with what's considered a 5, 6 star felony, you can be sentenced to doom.
Mm,
And there's no getting out until the judge reviews your case and says this, F5 convict belongs either in general population or staying in doom, right? A couple of kids in New York, when I say couple, I'm talking about thousands of kids in New York, call themselves doomers because they know what it takes to get you stuck in a situation.
mm,
Now, if somebody dooms you, there's two ways out. You either literally ask them to set you free or you pay them $600,
mm.
right? I thought that these two young men from Harlem, Bo and Dre, had doomed me. So I was on their coattail the whole time. And the reason why I thought they doomed me is because they thought I was actually Sonic the Hedgehog. So they were trying to keep an alien at bay. So for that album and for many albums from 2012 until 2019, I would say, I had been dissing them, anyone who doomed me, anyone who dooms people, anyone in prison who thinks they're going to get out and get a leg up. Like I had just been on fire. So for me to say that I'm not Sonic is a death right there. It's an ego death. and I found a Dr. Robotnik sample on later on in the album. It was from a Radiohead record. So I'm still in tune with Sega, but I'm on some real Harlem beef shit at this point. So there it is.
That's interesting. That's what it's like I don't know. I feel like I was asking you all these questions about these beats because I could tell there's a story behind like a lot of your music.
Mhm.
Rather, you'll ask like a producer, like, dang, like can you tell me about like when you made this beat? And they're just like, I just made the beat. You know what I'm saying? There's really no story behind it. But you seem to be story driven behind your music. Like your music has a lot of narrative behind it. Has it always been that way?
I call it elemental.
Mm,
Like before, like from my wow, today makes 20 years that I've been recording music.
really?
June 25th, 2005 was my first album from the desk up.
Wow. Congratulations, man.
Yeah, man. So like from now that I can talk about it, from that album, the stories were the writtens itself.
Mm,
Like choosing my perspective when it comes to my outlook on life is ever since I first started writing, I've been quite the problem. And that's the first line on my first album.
mm,
So it's like manifestation, man, watching everything come together.
mm. It's interesting. It's like you've been going since 2005. It's 2025. Do you still think you have that same energy that you had back then?
I'm a lot calmer now.
Mm,
Yeah, I'm way calmer now. Like things don't. I don't know if it's just the medicine or whatever it is, but things don't get to me the way they used to.
you think that's a good thing for you, for as an artist, for you to be more calm?
I mean, I'm sure you don't want me to catch a heart attack or a stroke while I'm performing.
Yeah. You know, there's some artists where their energy, like DMX being calm probably wouldn't be best for his music because of the energy that he brings. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why.
What is,
Say it again.
I know what you're about to say. What if DMX lyrically steps his game up? Like if DMX comes in the booth, mad calm, but he's using like 7, 8 syllable rhymes.
That'd be different. It'd be different.
Yo,
I don't know if it'd be better,
yo,
but
you there?
yeah, you can't hear me. Do you hear me?
Yeah, you're fading in and out, but I hear you.
I said I don't know if it'd be better, but it'd be different.
I respect that.
You know, it's like if you stopped using if you stopped chopping up souls or you stopped chopping up samples, but instead you just got technically better at something else in producing. It's like, okay, he got better at that. I don't know if that makes him a better producer. It's different though.
Right. No,
You know,
that makes sense.
you know. I mean, what do you think your strong suit is as a producer? Like, what do you think your, you're the best at, like your strength when making beats?
Constructing chords around a pre-existing sample.
Mm. Were you
Definitely.
taught? Were you taught that, or
No,
you
I,
self?
that I taught myself.
Mm. What did you get taught by somebody else?
My man Jim Leroy showed me how to sample a specific way on Fruity Loops, and
Mm.
let me see. Jim Leroy told me Fruity Loops. Woody showed me Logic. You remember Woody?
I don't know Woody. Who's Woody?
Woody was a producer from the West Coast that I brought back to the East Coast back in 2008. He produced All Alone.
Mm. How are you with rapping on other people beats?
I try not to do it, especially lately. I want to kind of throw my throw my name in the ring as far as being like a formidable producer. But I normally rap over like Alchemist, Ninth Wonder, Doom, DJ Jazzy Jeff. The whole, I don't know if you know about it, but Columbine Gang.
Nah, who's that?
So it's like a collective of artisans. Myself, I started it. Myself, Ninth Wonder, Alchemist, Jim Carrey, Korn, Illmind, Andre 3000, DJ Jazzy Jeff, Doom, and there's one name that's on the tip of my. Did I say Green Lantern?
No, you didn't.
DJ Green Lantern. Like we kind of move like a street gang as far as how we collaborate with people and get basically to the bottom of what they're trying to say.
There's one person you named that's not a musician, Jim Carrey.
What is Jim Carrey. So he's done a lot for the black community. I don't know if you've noticed, but yeah, he's like an unspoken black saint.
I mean, I know he was in Living Color, which was a black show. I'm a Jim Carrey fan, but I did not know this. Could you educate me on what Jim Carrey has been doing for the black people?
I mean, he donated X amount of millions to Black Lives Matter. He's donated to schools in the inner city. It really just depends on, who reaches out.
Interesting. I didn't know this.
Yeah, he's a philanthropist.
Shout out Jim Carrey. It's one of my favorite comedians. I love Jim Carrey.
Yeah, Jim Carrey's lit.
I wanna pull up something that you were playing on your live stream, and I don't know if it's your beat, if it's like some other big producer beat, but I've really been trying to find this beat for a long time. Could you please tell me what beat this is?
Okay. I can't help it. I missed you guys. I love you guys.
What beat is that?
It's a new old beat of mine. I made it. What date is on there?
You did this live stream a year ago on May 24th.
I gotta go dig for that then. I don't know. I recognize it, but I don't. I make so many beats, man. Like, Jesus Christ.
Do you know if that's out? Like publicly?
It should be out in the King Charles folder. Yep, King Charles.
Got you. I gotta dig for that because I've been trying to find that beat for a minute. Like literally since the day you went live. It's been a year ago. I've been trying to find that beat.
Yeah, man, that's a special beat.
So you made that around that time?
I think I made it during the week, on that week in particular. And then I might have dropped it right then and there on live.
How do you feel about shopping your beats around to other producers or to other rappers, excuse me?
They would have to take direction. Like, it's hard because there are, as I said, I do hoodoo. So like there's a pecking order on how to do it. So it's not as simple as me send you a beat, you record the vocals, send me the vocals and the beat. It's not that simple. Like I gotta see you take direction.
And what do you mean by take direction?
This is how I want you to execute it. Go.
Got you. So you got the vision.
Right. And I'm never asking for too much. It's just, it all depends on the artist.
Are there Charles Hamilton beats where like rappers that are kind of like big were rapping over at a point in time? Was that ever a thing? Because of the hoodoo thing, or was it something else? Like it's like, let's say 2011.
I'm sure the hoodoo stuff is not helping.
Yeah.
But
I want to hear people over Charles Hamilton beats, bro.
Matter of fact, I got a record. I got some records I can play for you. Hold on.
Yeah. Like, you ever heard of the rapper?
Okay. This is called Clap Your Hands. My man Danny Casper.
Happy Father's Day to the women I came in. This ain't no plan, I got girls off payment. This ain't on the grill like, oh, hold on. Showing my grill like I'm George Foreman. I count this, oh shit, when I begin. I'ma keep going, here we go, ain't stopping me. There ain't no stopping him. Baby, I'm brown like cinnamon. Put it in the mixer with that honey and sprinkle the cayenne. I'm spicy like cayenne. You ball like Caillou. I'm like it in haiku. I speak it in haikus. High truths. Whatever you wanna say. This is another day. I got it. It's all I'ma say. Nigga was born to be great. Some might say. Humans love bomb and grenades. What's up, baby? I might have to let it spray. Hey,
See, we need more rappers over Charles Hamilton.
Ottawa is South LA. So hey, listen to the youngsters.
Wait, can you pause real quick? I got a question.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of a rapper named Mike?
Mike likes rap.
Yes.
Yeah, he's dope.
I would love to hear Mike over Charles Hamilton beats. You know what I'm saying? Like you have beats where I feel like people like him and people of that ilk would go crazy over your beats. Like that beat up, like that, like the beat from the live stream from last year. Mike would go nuts over that beat. I would love to hear more rappers over your beats because I feel like I don't know. I just need more people hearing you. You know what I'm saying? Like shout out to the Star Chasers. I need niggas who ain't even chased the star yet to know about Charles Hamilton. You know what I'm saying?
So
Okay. You need people to listen to the vision that you have and take direction. Is there any thought, or would you be comfortable of stepping outside of that box and sending people beats like that?
I've done it, but I wasn't satisfied with the results.
Mm.
That's like, you know what? And I want to get to this point next. That's like, hey, Charles, I like what you're doing without a pen, but what's it going to take for you to pick up a pen again? And it's like, you know what? Recently, I picked up a pen and wrote a verse. I didn't like it at all.
Mm.
So, I mean, how much is this shit for the people? You know what I mean? Like, if I'm bringing y'all something new and fresh, can't be mad at the technique. Don't sweat the technique.
It's interesting. Like y'all who don't write is so interesting to me. Like I don't get how y'all do it. Like you're writing in your head. I don't get it. It sounds great when like you do it or Jay-Z do it. I just don't get how y'all do it. Like I don't. That's very complex.
I mean, there's a difference between Jay-Z and Lil Wayne. Like Lil Wayne would have 8 bars of a flow or 4 bars of a flow in his head, and those 4 bars would lead to a punchline, and he'll crack himself up laughing, and he'll have to punch in again. You know, every word that proceedeth out of Hove's moutheth is written in his head, and you can see it. So when I tell niggas I write in my head, I give myself maybe 4 to 6 bars of actually sitting there and like visualizing the bars. And then I factor in mistakes and so on and so forth. Then I got an 8. After that, I branch on that. Same thing. I got another 8. I'll be completely silent listening to beats. Or I'll be sitting, as you can hear in my apartment. There's no sound whatsoever in my apartment. It's like conditioned for me to think and exercise my thoughts. So, I mean, that's Jay and I differ and are very similar in that way.
You're also a great freestyler though. Just like off the dome, like nigga put on the beat and you start rapping. I've heard you do that so many times. And correct me if I'm wrong. This is another piece of it's almost like a lost media of Charles Hamilton that I've been trying to find. Did you ever do a freestyle one time? Are you familiar with the website? I think we talked about this last time. Are you familiar with the website KTT?
Yeah.
Was there a freestyle you did where you were name dropping KTT members?
Yeah, I did it on Tim Westwood.
That was Tim Westwood.
Hmm.
Okay, that's what it was. So I gotta find that. What made you do that? That was interesting because I'm a KTT user. So what made you do that?
No, I mean, I always felt some kind of way when like the blogs weren't picking up my music, and really the only way I would know if anybody heard my music was by going to the KTT forum. But they
Mm.
kept slamming my shit. I'm like, yo, what are y'all doing? Like, are you not listening to what's going on here? So I would say 2016, I went back to the forum and they all showing love to my 2014 music. I'm like, fuck y'all niggas, man. I went through all this shit. Now y'all niggas won't come around.
Shout out KTT. That's
Yeah,
funny, niggas.
shout out
Not
KTT.
y'all want to come around. Shout out KTT. But no, yeah, like I said, you're a great freestyler, and it's interesting because that's like a. You think that's a skill somebody could practice?
I think anybody can pick up freestyling.
Mm.
It all depends on how devoted you are to it.
Was that something that you always had though?
Humbly, I'm gonna say humbly no, but my mom and my dad know I've been freestyling for a long time.
Got you. No, yeah, you're up there with like one of my favorite, like just off the top, like freestylers ever, and I always appreciate niggas who could do that. Um, but yeah, no, like I said, I've been listening to a lot of Charles Hamilton, new and old. For anybody watching this, I need them to tap in. If you've never tapped in, then I don't know. This is probably a crazy question. If somebody's watching this, they've never tapped into Charles Hamilton. Where should they start?
On the website, charleshamilton.app.
Mm. And where, because you have different folders, like you're saying, you got Charles Hamilton, you got a bunch of. Which one should they click on to start?
I'm of the mind to say they should just explore the site.
Mm.
Like it's a break from the everyday.
Got you. Have you are you listening to anything right now outside of yourself?
Outside of myself, um, my man Halo, H2, Halo, Skrill, Cassidy, like the home team.
Yeah. Alright. Um, I guess lastly, before we get out of here, uh, are you tapped in with wrestling at all right now?
I'm more tapped into the R Truth fiasco. It's kind of messed up what's going on.
It's crazy. It's crazy. He's old Ron Killings, old our truth. Um, yeah, I'm a wrestling fan, and I always enjoy your wrestling bars. I know you were a big like you like Bray Wyatt, didn't you?
Love Bray Wyatt, rest in peace.
What about Bray connected with you?
Like the Fireflies were star chasers. I don't know if you knew that, but
Mm,
like his Fireflies were star chasers, and like there was like key things that he was saying that is this nigga talking to me? You know what I mean? And it just resonated. It hit so hard. I was like, damn, this nigga like follow the buzzards. Like the buzz is transcended into wrestling.
mm,
And it's like no one. I have yet to meet anyone who's denied my buzz, but there are people who deny my fame, and
mm.
that's something I want. If we're gonna wrap it up now, I'm gonna leave you with this: fun, fame, and fortune. Three F's. F is the sixth letter.
Mm.
If you're going after any of those three, you're chasing the devil. So there's no sense and no need in even going to God because you already know what time it is. Just by chasing fun, fame, and fortune.
Hey, and we can leave it on that. For anybody
Yes, sir.
watching, I appreciate everybody watching right now. Please go tap in with the talented Mr. Hamilton. Hopefully, next time we do this interview, I have some bars over on his beats because
No doubt.
that was really supposed to be the thing. But until next time, I say what I mean. I mean what I say. Haters gonna hate, players gonna play, and y'all holla at yo boy.